It's a focus on like a comment on Shaman so then be share now on Good Morning Ghana so Fuseni Donko NDC ni na one Fiifi Boafo no question mo Good Morning Ghana so na omo issue ni na Sedinam tamakuru Sedina tamakuru fi yi no a judgment ne ba bonte no attorney general settings attorney general abeka kire Ghana for say obe court because court of appeal amama ko hwehwe nsem no se dom si judge no na dom si judge asem no ase say nani na ya as a result of say Ghana for bonachi se obi a obo Ghana koro no mo baaye no na me kizo se obe yi MPP for obe yi NDC for nyina mo ase mo court ni na file no le prosecution de yi o mu nyina MPP for de omo de ense se o mungum the lives of to many ade two omugum ye chibigum ne chibi for free speech ni ade momo crofo ba amoba omanse mo court na mo yi omo zo mugu prison so mo yi omo nyina etina se sa Ghana for agitation no mo de to ano no hu no out of frustration free mbeka say ene obeko court of appeal honum na or the den afi o de court of appeal Oma bona na asem na to ogu afi also the Supreme Court ni na sentence corona na we na Fiifi Boafo kire say na wo Supreme Court ade kokore nkosi aga ni nyina sentence kuru ya hu su bind da we sentence attorney general aje se wanya camera na ne esu camera attorney general sentence ngwanju ho na odada na ne be he oni fu ni don ko on Good Morning Ghana show no so you wana modada all of a sudden NDC communicators na madane lawyers ne judges okuruman say as you nim dem kan in opposition time na ebi yedi nkofo asem ai mo nkofo mu ye corruption ne bribery no nim se ma mo kafa judges no ene judges no e sent okay abai ba sesa ya ko ne ko tie Fiifi Boafo ne efuseni don conversation on Good Morning Ghana.
The AG has filed a fresh stay of execution. Someone just drew my attention to this, that they filed a fresh stay of execution at the Apex Court, which is the Supreme Court. You know, they had said they have withdrawn and there wasn't any such thing. But somebody has just drawn my attention to this. And that against the acquittal and discharge of against the acquittal and discharge of Sedina. Now, we're told the move of the Supreme Court comes after the office reportedly withdrew its application at the Court of Appeal. So they've only withdrawn from the Court of Appeal, but they filed it at the Supreme Court. Yes, so please go ahead.
Yeah, so two things were happening. There was a stay of execution.
And then appeal process.
Yeah. So he's just withdrawing from the appeals court and dealing with the Supreme Court. Right. So at times when the brothers present the issue, if you're not careful, you'll be misled. One, who started this whole Sedinam issue? Was it not the MPP?
Right.
The appeals court mostly deals with evidence adduced by both the prosecution and then the accused. This time around, he has the benefit of at least 3 justices going through the evidence as presented in court.
Right.
Unfortunately, they may not have the body language and the chemistry of the accused and then maybe that of the witnesses. But at least they will look through all the witnesses' statement and everything. And these 3 justices studied all the evidence presented by the former AG and his team, Godfrey Dame. And all their conclusion was that most of the evidence adduced by Godfrey Dame then were poorly done. So let's not try and create the impression. I heard some of their lawyers say, oh, the conclusion was based on a defective charge. No, it wasn't a defective charge. They were not able to substantiate their charges. Moro, let me give you 2 classical examples. The charge of willfully causing financial loss to the state. Is it an act or is a process? Because if you say I willfully cause financial loss to the state, it means I entered the state into a transaction, committed the state into that transaction, the transaction was carried out, and after the transaction there was a loss.
Right.
But herein lies the case. Sedinam started a process of contracting vehicle for the GPRTU at the cost of, I think, 84 million. The MPP takes over. The new Maslock boss comes, looks at the contract and says, no, this is too expensive. Hold on. So the process of commitment was altered.
Yeah.
Then a new price was negotiated by the then finance minister. So the moment you renegotiate, it means that former contract is gone. And then you decided to pay the new price. Sedinam did not even commit the country to that payment.
Okay, so it's an interesting point you've raised. And if this matter came up some time back, Richard Ahiagwa was here, the Director of Communications, and I raised this issue, whether when you commit a state to a certain contract is the same as actually executing the payment for the contract. His argument was that if the NDC had won the 2016 election, Maslock would have paid.
So is she being charged on willfully trying to, or potentially trying to, or the law is willfully causing financial loss to the
asked him
state?
the same question, and he said no.
No, you don't charge on presumption.
So he says once there was a commitment, it means that she would have.
The commitment ended when the contract was renegotiated.
Right.
The moment that the new person came and said, listen, we are renegotiating this, and then the person buying did not say, I am going to court for, judgment debt, and accepted to also renegotiate, it means the person has re-entered a new contract.
Right.
So the old contract is gone. So if you go and present this to the appeal court justices, you expect them to accept what you did in a rush and also convince somebody on this. Then there was another weird one. Conspiracy to steal and stealing with Obatampa. That there was records of Maslock transferring 500,000 to Obatampa Microfinance. Then Obatampa Microfinance now comes as a witness to say, yes, I took the money, but I paid the money back to Sedinam. Okay.
At Bachona.
I'm coming there. Okay. Where is the evidence of payment? We were able to track the money all the way from Maslock to Obatampa. There was paper trail there, everything. But when the money was leaving a microfinancial institution to go back and pay, there was no paper trail. What is the evidence of payment? He said, oh, I put the money in Ghana Must Go and went and handed it over to her. Is that how a microfinance operates? Is there anything that shows that the woman received the money?
Yes.
He said, oh, there was a text message. Where is the text message? Oh, it's gone. And you expect justices to listen to this and accept. Because according to the the appeals court judge, they asked the person that show the evidence that the woman collected the money. He said there was no evidence. So if there was no evidence, you paid the money in 2014. In 2015, the same institution was still asking you to pay. And so when they asked you to pay, I said, how do you pay something in 2014 and in 2015 you are still being asked to pay interest on the money you took in 2014? And so I reminded her that the money I gave you, your people are still chasing me for it too. And she replied, I'll fix it. Okay, where is the evidence of that WhatsApp message? That one too, the witness couldn't produce it.
So
the receipt. So what did she actually steal?
The receipt, which was a photocopy of the monies which he claimed, or Batampa claimed he had returned to Sedina. Why did the court say? Why did the Attorney General say that the duplicate was not evidential enough?
The woman, the woman says, I doubt that signature on that particular.
So I'm talking about it's a Sedina's lawyer, not
yes,
the state. Yes.
The woman denied that she cannot authenticate that thing as her.
But she said that the signature looks like hers, except that she cannot authenticate whether indeed
Moro,
she said.
What I'm saying is that if an institution gives you money, do you give the money back to a person or you give it to the institution?
You give it to the institution. I agree with you.
So how can a microfinance or organization say an institution gave me money? A person comes demanding and I decided to pay the money to the person rather than the institution.
Now, does the fact that they didn't go through the right process? Yes, I agree, because it ought to be administratively official, which is because Maslock paid into an account.
Yes.
So if you're returning it, you return to a Maslock.
Maslock.
I agree. Okay. Now, if indeed, and I'm because you and I were not there.
Yeah.
Right? If indeed it was the case that Sedina asked them through that WhatsApp chat, and I'm not saying it's true, I'm just conjecture, asked them to meet her at Bachuna.
Sure.
To bring the money back to her. If they're saying that the interest rate is high, 24% is too high, they don't want. Okay. Are you saying that because they didn't send the money to her back into the account of Maslock, automatically mean that it is not possible that there was some meeting somewhere where the money was given to Sedina?
Moro, we are talking about criminal charges.
I agree with you.
Not civil charges.
I agree with you. Which is
must be proven beyond all reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
So if an institution gives you money, what the justices expect is that you pay back to that institution.
No, there is sorry for saying it. The reason why I'm asking this question because you said you think it is highly implausible for Batampa to have
if it's a person to person,
yes.
I can understand.
Yes.
But I said I'm giving you money. You say you have not given me the money. That's a different thing.
Yes.
But I'm talking about institutions dealing with each other.
Yes.
The money moved from Maslock all the way to Obatampa can be traced. But when the money left Obatampa to Maslock, it cannot be traced. It can only be traced to a person in Maslock.
Yes. I agree with you, there is no evidence.
And aside that, you see, when justices are dealing with issue, they deal with everything holistically. This is the same Attorney General who in the ambulance case was coaching Japa, an accused, to go and twist witnesses against another accused person so that he can get the chance to imprison that person. So what makes you think that, Sedinam is in trouble? Obatampa, if you're able to give me this kind of witness statement, we can get the chance to nail her. So go this particular route. And the guy too, excuse me to say, did not also think through that this particular route I'm taking is criminally minded. Because who in his right senses will believe that an institution gives you money, pay back the money to that institution, you say, no, I decided to go and give the money without any paper trail to the person in charge of the institution. And we expected this particular thing to hold before the justices.
Yeah.
If Godfrey Dami expected it to hold, well, I'm not sure the justices within their right frame of mind will allow this to go through. So, Moro, almost all the charges preferred against the woman were flawed.
Okay.
It was rushed.
There was something Fiifi Boafo read. Fiifi, I don't know whether you can. I wish you could give it to Bright for Bright to put it on the screen. There was something read about what Dominic Ayene said.
Yeah.
You know, and in fact, that is what formed his basis to say that once the evidence was not sufficient enough, as we're being told
that is what I'm saying, that particular aspect was even amended.
Yes. So
the appeals court allowed the Attorney General to amend it.
When was that?
Yes, he did it rectified. In 2026, it was rectified.
Dominic Ayene
This was his final submission, and he said it was rectified. At what point?
There was at no point the inconclusive documents that they were talking about, the inconclusive evidence and code that he was talking about, all those things were taken care of. In fact, there was an appeal made to amend those particular things. And the appeals court allowed it because the appeal court will normally go through all documents. So it's even in their own interest to get the full picture.
Okay.
That is why they allowed it. And everything was presented. You see, unless we want to be emotional about this particular case, if we are actually dealing with the law that MPP actually proposes for us to always deal with the law, I don't see the qualms about this.
Right.
And if you are saying that the Attorney General was deliberately doing this, this was a judgment from the appeals court justices. 3 of them, 2 of them even appointed by Nanado himself. So, is it that the Attorney General was actually in, how do you call it, in collaboration with the justices decided to do this? Why are we refusing to read the actual judgment?
Right.
But decide to speak emotions rather than law?
Right. Okay.
And so we are just casting innuendos, we are just casting hypotheses. Why couldn't it be done this way? But the thing is in front of all of us, black and white. You see, we may not be lawyers, but one thing I keep saying is that wherever the lawyers quote, after quoting the articles, the rest becomes English. And by God's grace, we all did grammar and comprehension. So we can actually understand.
Right.
So please, Boro, for me, it's just a matter of let's try and put political spin on this and make it a political capital. Okay. Otherwise, there is nothing wrong with this judgment. We are just not being fair to the woman.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so somebody has sent me this, and the person has started the document. When the Attorney General's Department raised an objection relating to the full records of appeal, it filed an application to rectify the records. That is to say, to ensure whatever process or exhibit or document not included in the records are included. The Court of Appeals granted the application and the record was subsequently rectified. That was even before Sedina Tamaklu had been extradited to Ghana. And it says fine proceedings of that day and the ruling of the court below. It is totally false that some exhibits were missing from the record the Court of Appeal considered in arriving at the decision. Okay. And the person sends me this.
Okay, but Moro, a quick one on that.
Yes.
So, even before Sedina was extradited, he says,
okay,
wait a minute. Was the court hearing Sedina's appeal case before her extradition?
But the case was ongoing.
Ongoing where?
She was coming for trial. Because she was pronounced guilty in her absence.
Yes.
I'm coming. She was pronounced guilty in her absence.
Yes.
And her lawyers have started an appeal process, which the Attorney General was objecting.
Right.
So when she was
you mean, and at the time was Godfrey Dami?
Yes.
But I thought Godfrey...
They did the appeal process even during Godfrey Dami's time.
It did not.
That is why they started.
It did not happen.
Which one did Godfrey say he wasn't even aware?
It's the same matter. So
Godfrey wasn't aware of the appeal.
Yes.
It was done. The AG...
You saw that Godfrey right?
Yeah.
He didn't know anything about the
He
appeal.
was pretending he didn't know. He said, oh, it didn't come to his attention. It's different from, I didn't know.
No.
You mean the fact that it didn't come to his attention does not mean it wasn't happening?
Don't mind him.
How was
the
it
AG's department.
How was it happening?
Oh, come on.
The Attorney General sanctions
pretended
before the matter.
My brother,
go
and check.
The
first shows that it happened, and he was saying that, he as Godfrey Dami wasn't aware.
Yeah, I said he's not aware.
Because it was the AG department that opposed it.
Okay, all right, please go ahead.
Yes. He says some things which I need to correct.
Yes.
And he's not the first person to say that, there are 3 justices of the Court of Appeal. There are 3 justices at the Court of Appeal. Suggesting as though if there are 3 justices at the Court of Appeal, whatever they say is final. No, that's a Court of Appeal.
Okay.
There is a Supreme Court. It therefore means that if there are 3 justices of the Court of Appeal, whatever they say is final. It is not. They could be wrong. So stop making reference to 3 justices. We have said in this country where 7 justices are the most superior court, the Supreme Court, and you call them names. So now, referring to 3 justices at the Court of Appeal as though that is a Bible or that is a Quran, that is not the case. He talked about the fact that, there was no evidence of payment from Abatampa. That is not the case. Indeed, at the High Court, the people adduced evidence to the effect that, yes, we took the money. When we were supposed to pay the money, the woman asked us to meet her as Pentex Robatona and give the money to her. When the people were being chased to pay the money, what did they say? They went to her, madam, the money, we've given the money to you. Your people are asking for money. They went to her office and she actually gave her a personal receipt personal receipt acknowledging that yes, I've taken the money from you.
But she's saying
When the matter went to the High Court,
but she's denied that.
No, she's not denying. She said she's not sure. No, don't you know your signature?
No, but that receipt you're talking about is a duplicate. we don't know what the
It
original
wasn't even the original.
So the fact that it's a duplicate doesn't take away something from the fact that it's a
Well, the court won't accept a duplicate without original.
The court
There
accepted
has
it.
to be.
The High Court accepted it.
That is why the court dealt with it.
No, wait a minute. She did not object to it. She did not.
She says she can't authenticate the signature.
Wait a minute.
So
if it is not your signature, you say that is not my signature.
So,
you don't
so,
say
so
you cannot sure.
Fiifi, sorry about this. But if you bring a document to court and it's not the original, you bring a duplicate. Doesn't the responsibility lie on the prosecution to produce the original?
Wait a minute. The person, it is not the prosecution that issued the receipt or received the receipt.
Right.
The receipt was given to Obatampa. Obatampa was asked, do you have receipt of payment? And said, well, I have this duplicate of the receipt she gave us. The woman was asked, and then she was talking about whether she's not sure if that was her receipt or not. More, what it means is that the woman received the money.
Not
yes, you can say that
How do you
she
prove
did
it?
not. Oh, please. But do not
How do you
say,
prove
no,
it?
wait a minute. Do not say that the woman, there was no evidence or there's nothing to show that the woman indeed called the people for receipt of that money.
What was the evidence?
Wait a minute.
They couldn't produce it.
You also sat here and said
saying
that
that the duplicate
there
is
was
enough.
a coaching. Where? Are these evidence to show that indeed Obatampa was coached to go to court and say that there was no such evidence?
No, I'm just saying.
So
the character of Godfrey Dami in the Jakarta
if
case,
we are talking about character,
the same thing he was doing.
Allow, I heard you. If we are talking about character, at least we know one person who has demonstrated it beyond reasonable doubt, and it's the Attorney General of the
He hasn't
Republic of
coached
Ghana.
any witness.
This is the
He
Attorney
hasn't
General
coached
who has
any
acted.
accused person
please.
to go and lie
We are not-
on oath.
we are not-
He has not done that.
We are not doing a shouting match.
No, you started it when I was talking. You were coming in.
No. Allow me.
No, so don't make it look
This
as if I'm
is
now
the
reading it.
Attorney General who every NDC person accused, he has ensured that person is freed.
He has not coached any witness.
He
to go
has
and lie
ensured
under
that
oath.
that person is freed.
He has not done that.
Can you trust that Attorney General? What would he do differently in the case of Sedina?
He's not even under
She has
investigation
done it
by the legal counsel.
demonstrably for everybody to see that for him, he does not believe that any NDC person must go to jail. So why would you expect anything different from her?
Okay. All right, let's move on. Well, the good thing is that the Attorney General says he's appealing against it. And he's
Moro,
also
for
filed a
me,
state of execution. So
Moro,
let's
one
see
thing
how that
is
goes.
clear to me. This Attorney General in Dr. Dominic Ayene is not under investigation by the General Legal Counsel. There's not been any prima facie case formed against him for coaching prosecution, an accused person to go and lie under oath. No, he's not done that.
You said
So
this,
for me,
you've been saying this repeatedly.
that must be put on record.
Okay.
Because if I hurried somebody through a criminal trial just to be able to get my way to jail and say I have jailed an NDC person, and the appeal court points out the defectiveness of my charges that the charges that are preferred against the person, and it comes out that I did a poor job. I was just trying to maneuver to jail somebody rather than taking the person through proper justice.
Okay.
That is no law.
All right. Let's not reduce this to the two Attorney Generals. They are not here to defend themselves. So let's do this. So Martin AC, who is the former Chief Executive Officer of the Minerals Commission, he's waded into this conversation. I thought I started a conversation with Fiifi Boafo about what appears to be the preponderance of people, going to law school. Everybody gets up and they want to go to law school. And I'm wondering what's happening. And he said, well, law is good. If you read the law, you do a good job, you work hard, you can make money. There's also some prestige that comes with it. Ghana needs a lot of lawyers. So he justified it and said there's nothing wrong with it. And so Martin AC has waded into this. He says, look, Moro, good morning to you guys. You need lawyers everywhere. Any serious public institution needs lawyers. All the commissions have lawyers, etc. The next stage or level is for the lawyers to scale up and develop specialized knowledge needed for the economy.
That's what I wanted to even say.
That's true. And it says that mining law, intellectual property law, insurance law, criminal law, environmental law, oil and gas law, tax law, etc. So we are needed everywhere and every corner. I totally agree with you.
You know, actually,
because a lot of people have become jack of all trades.
I even after the LLB decided to do masters in natural resource law.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Legon.
Yeah, Legon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the Professor Tuguba thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Commander Sapon, you're very different. Commander Sapon, yeah, the good old man. He says, "More good morning. There is no doubt that Maslow gave 500,000 cedis to the bank." Yes, there is no. Well, so it's actually not. I don't know. Obatampa is Obatampa Rural Bank, eh?
No, it's microfinance.
It's a microfinance, yeah. So it's not a bank, yeah, to the microfinance, yeah. To the bank. There is no doubt that 500,000 left the bank. The bank was not charged. Sedina has been freed. The question is, where is the 500,000? Answer: lost in transit. Effect: you and I will lose a brother from snake bite because there's no money to buy the snake serum. This is Ghana for you. And he's asking a very important question. In all of this, where's the money? Where's the money? We still don't know where the money is. Whether it's still with Obatampa or it's with somebody else. Alhaji Hamza from Pay Farm says this, that more this issue of insufficient evidence put before the court was later raised and it was ratified. Also, it was rectified, sorry. So no one should throw dust into our face. In any case, who is this to be blamed? And in my humble opinion, the former AG and his team must be held responsible and not the judges. I will urge Fiifi to read the report and see that Honorable Sika, the former Maslow boss, said during the cross-examination. You'll be shocked. Moro, why don't you tell Fiifi that he got it all wrong and he must accept it and let's move on? This is the problem I have with them. The verdict from the appeals court was unanimous. What about that? And this one here from Mumuni Awudu, is also called Kalio Man from Y. Says, good morning, bro. Please ask Fiifi how many of their own did Gofredami try when he was the AG? Why do you think the AG would leave the former appointee who committed their crimes first and then prosecute the new appointees? Kalio Man from Y sent that message. Mark Kojo Boafo, this man, oh God, he started watching this show from day one and he's always glued, very loyal to Good Morning, and he's based in the United States. You know, very, 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 very knowledgeable man. Honestly, he says, "Look, good morning, guys. In simple language, you commit this crime when 1, you are holding public office or doing business with the state, and 2, you act willfully, maliciously, or fraudulently, meaning you knew what you were doing was wrong. It was not an honest mistake. The courts have said if the loss was not willful, no crime has been committed under this section. And because of the act, Ghana loses money or property. Public body is very wide. It includes the state itself, government of Ghana, billboards, public boards, corporate, public institutions, and any company where the state has interest. And it continues to say that causing financial loss to the state is a criminal offense under Section 179A of the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29. The law says that any person who by a willful act or commission or omission causes loss, damage or injury to the property of anybody, of any public body or any agency of the state commits an offense. Any person who in the course of any transaction or business with a public body or any agency of the state intentionally causes damage or loss, whether economic or otherwise, to the body or agency commits an offense. And also any person through whose willful, malicious or fraudulent action or omission the state incurs a financial loss, B, the security of the state is endangered, commits an offense. And when you look at all of this, Sedina doesn't fall in this category. And so that's where I guess that's what Mr. Makojo Boafo is trying to say. Hardy in Payfarm says, good morning, brother. Fiifi should know that lies and propaganda is no more working in Ghana's politics. After your party renegotiated the contract downwards, your finance minister went ahead to do the payment, but still chose a wrongful part to prosecute Sedina. Look at the reckless thing Gofredami is saying on the judgment. Gofredami was just blah, blah, blah on his job as AG. All he does is to negotiate judgment. You don't know about that, please. Let's be careful. If you are asked to go to court to go and prove whether the man is, so please. We sincerely apologize for saying that, and we issue a big caveat on that. We beg you, this one, we can't go to God to go and substantiate. I beg you. We don't have any evidence that he does that. I beg you. Now, he says that, good morning to Mr. Ibrahim, Mama, good morning to the good people of Chereponi. Alhaji Hadi, you want to put me into trouble? Hey, I beg you. Now, this one here says that, all right, okay. So the rest of the, okay. So Guy G, I've seen your I've seen your article, and I think that it's a clarion call to your party. It says the NPP must unite now. Factionalism will kill us if we don't kill it. And it's a very interesting article. Perhaps if you go to today's Daily Statesman, if you go online, you would see that interesting story. But whilst at it, let me just remind you that the National Youth Authority's event is ongoing. It started on the 1st of August, where they're inviting all young people across Ghana to be part of the National Youth Month 2026. It's happening from 1st to the 30th of August. It's on the theme, Rebuilding Values and Inspiring Patriotism, Empowering the Youth in the Digital Age. The celebration kicked off on Saturday, 1st August, with the National Voluntary and Community Service Day. This will be followed by youth engagement with Christian and Muslim religious leaders on the 6th and 7th of August. And then from 10th to the 13th of August, the National Youth Conference will take place at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, bringing together young leaders and stakeholders from across the country. And then from 16th to the 19th of August, young people will make their voices heard at National Youth Parliament. The excitement continues on 21st August with an inter-agency football gala at the Accra Sports Stadium, followed by the intergenerational dialogue on 25th of August. With the Red Means Stop campaign in the Independence Square. Young people are encouraged to register to attend, volunteer, exhibit their products and services, or sign up as media partners through the official National Youth Month registration portal. This August, volunteer, learn, lead, and serve. National Youth Authority facilitating youth development. Also, the Clean Conference is happening. Metro TV and the original TV or F and FM, all belonging to the Ignite Media Group. We're bringing the Clean Conference on the 21st of August 2026. The theme is assessing Ghana's progress towards UN SDGs Agenda 2030, SDG 6, clean water and sanitation, and also SDG 7, clean energy, and SDG 12, responsible consumption and production. And this is happening under the auspices of Ghana's Chief of Staff and the Office of the Chief of Staff, that's what I should be saying, which is, of course, led by Dr. Julius Deborah. And so it's 21st of August 2026 at the CD Conference Hall, University of Ghana. Now, the following day, there'll be a massive cleanup exercise, and the Chief of Staff will be leading that, which is 22nd of August 2026. So there will be traditional authorities, industry players, academia, civil society, young people, all of them will be there to participate in this very, very important, all-important event. And then I guess that we're done for the day. But before I go, let me just remind you that please discover MNC Group Global. They are your #1 partner in minerals and food commodity trading, real estate development, general logistics, procurement management consultants, investment advisory, import and export. They have headquarters in East Legon, Accra, Ghana. They also have group offices in places like Dubai. They are in Hong Kong. They are in Guangzhou in China. They are in Johannesburg in South Africa, Virginia, USA, Arizona in Italy, and also Hanover in Germany. So essentially what they do is that they connect markets that will help you drive your business growth with tailor-made solutions that will meet your needs. So trust us to maximize your value in every deal. So reach us on MNC Group at mncgroup.com or call 0302 998 246 998 246. You know that on Thursdays we end the show at 9:30 to make way for the school homecoming program, which Kwesi Kweti will be joining us shortly to present. Now, Kojotu Boafo says, good morning, Moro. I'm surprised that Fiifi Boafo is sitting in a law school trying to become a lawyer, despite the fact that he doesn't believe in the law. You want someone's mother, wife, daughter to be jailed with defective charges. Kojo, it says, but whilst I'm not, yes, it says, whilst I'm not shocked, it should be mentioned because one day someone will hire you as a lawyer, and I pity that person.
I will be my first client.
Oh. Would you want to hire?
Oh, of course. I know. He's waiting for me to represent him. That's why he keeps talking about it.
If Kojo is your client, you can imagine your headache.
Even the pressure. The pressure to do a good job, eh?
Bro, no pressure. He's stubborn. Kojo is stubborn. It's my senior brother, but he's stubborn.
Stubborn.
Very stubborn.
Text message.
Kojo, you have a new up-and-coming lawyer. Please add him to your list of
just
lawyers.
A quick one on the text message that was sent to you about the lawyers in Ghana.
Yes.
I was just looking to...
Oh, the man says you won't even hire you as a dog catcher. The big brother.
He's waiting. He can't wait.
He can't wait.
He can't wait.
Yeah. Sorry, just a quick one before you. Just a minute, or the lawyer's matter.
Yeah.
Because we have only a minute to go.
Yeah, sure. So
Yes.
I was just checking through the statistics, and I realized that China has about 1.4 practicing engineers.
Okay.
As against 830,000 lawyers.
Oh, okay.
Ghana is doing 11,000 lawyers now,
Wow.
as against 8,000 practicing engineers.
Wow.
And now that the law school has been expanded,
Yes.
you can imagine.
Yeah, I know.
So
we're going to have
we
more
are a
lawyers.
developing nation. I think we should also, yes, so like what Fiifi said,
Okay.
our lawyers should not just be general lawyers. They should specialize.
Yeah.
Oil and gas, engineering, corporate law, criminal law. Like, they should diversify.
They are doing that.
You see, that will help us as a developing country. Otherwise, I put it to you alone doesn't help the nation grow.
Right. All right. So we need more lawyers.
We
What do you
need
think
more
about
lawyers,
what-
but we need much more engineers to
Engineers
grow
too.
as a nation.
You know, Moro.
We need both.
So you give me 1 minute.
Yes.
I think that what will be seen as a preferred job or what job opportunities
Yeah.
will be available, I think that it will change significantly
Right.
from now to the next 10 years.
Right.
Things, job opportunities that are available today may not be available in the next 5 to 10 years.
Right.
I think a lot is changing. So we need to be, our Ministry of Education, we need to look at the trends to see where the opportunities are shifting to and see how best we can also
Adaptability.
position ourselves to take
Adaptability.
advantage of. Because with the rate at which AI is going, a lot of the so-called fancy jobs may not.
Funny enough, we've just lost about 2 works in this very room. Formerly, 3 people would have been holding this camera
Oh, yes.
following us.
Technology.
But now it's motion sensor.
I know.
So a lot will change. So
Okay.
what is important is how do we position ourselves such
Right.
that we do not lose out at that point.
Okay.